Okay, so we are discussing the differences today about the differences between single men and married men. There is a difference. There is a huge difference. And it's crazy because as I went in to do some research, what I found is that statistics actually tell us that married men live longer than single men. That's crazy, right? And when it speaks of the reason why married men live so much longer than single men, it's attributed to women. The reason why a married man lives longer than a single man is because of the woman in his life. That's different, and that's, I don't know. But it makes completely sense. I mean, it makes complete sense. What they're saying is that married men usually are taken care of. And I don't mean financially and stuff like that, but I'm talking about they're fed, they're taken care of, they're groomed, they're this, they're that. The living is less stressful. Now, I would think, me personally, being that I was married before, I would have thought that the marriage life was more stressful. The kids, the wife, dealing with insecurities, the typical stuff that everybody deals with. But when we talk about this, it actually says that married men live longer and single men are quicker to pass away or die because they live more of a reckless life. And I guess that would make sense too. Do me a favor, share, comment, speak, because your comments mean a lot to me. And do me a favor also, visit that link right up there, youtube.com at Pastor Max Viana, and subscribe. Because I rarely come on here anymore. Like I used to be on here all the time. I would stream from here, and I've eventually changed that. So I'm doing everything on YouTube now, and my goal is to eventually just transition over. So do me a favor, follow that link. Now, let's take a look and see what they have to say about that. It says married men generally have more accumulated wealth than single men. These are the differences between single men and married men. According to the Institute for Family Studies, a very reliable source, by the way, the typical 50-something-year-old man, married man, that is, because you can be 50 and single. So we're talking about 50 and above married. Has 3 times the assets of his unmarried peer. 3 times. Wow. That's a huge number. Married men over 50 have 3 times the assets than a single man, whether he be of the same age or lower. That is crazy. Then it says about 167,000 compared to less than 49,000. Married men also earn more than single men. Wow. And it begins to tell us why, and this also makes a lot of sense. It says the married men earn more money than single men because with a gap in earnings that can range from 4.5% to 32.6%. That puts you in that 1 or 2% category. You know, that 1 to 5%er. You know, that man that most women are looking for. That one that can truly provide for you without running out of money. That's that 32.6%, which technically makes it 33%. This is the earnings that you would earn, that typically earn between 4.5 to 32.6% when you are a married man over 50 versus a single man. And then it says this is known as the marriage wage, you know, so it's something that really exists, premium. The marriage wage premium, and is generally greater for men than women. And you ask yourself why, right? Let's see if it tells us. Kind of have an idea why. It says married men also tend to climb the job ladder faster than single people. Oh yeah, it's about to tell us why. Research has shown that married men receive more invitations for job interviews and higher salaries other than single men with identical resumes. You can have my same resume, but you're single. And just because I'm married, I'll get more interviews than you. And you would think it was the other way around, because back in the day, I mean, that jobs and people, they looked for the younger crowd. They looked for youth because your energy interpreted to money. But now, energy means laziness, believe it or not. So it says here that interviews, higher salaries, offered than single man. What I didn't go remember. Okay. Then it says the reason that employers favor married men may include the belief that married men deserve a family wage. Why? Well, the truth is that when the employer knows that you have a family, that you're married and you have children, they know that there's a big sense of responsibility that exists there. It's going to be less calling off of work. It's going to be coming to work and getting the job done. It's going to be taking things more serious. It's going to be really owning the company, taking control and saying, okay, this is my life. This is my bread and butter. This is how I feed my family. I cannot afford to lose this. Whereas single men look at it like, hey, this is a cool opportunity for now. They go and they party and they do all this reckless stuff and call in sick in the morning because they got hangovers and what have you. On the other hand, the married men seem to be more stable in that area, and that is one of the reasons why employers choose that. But then again, I mean, it makes sense. And this is also why women, you guys, I'll zoom in and say this, you guys are always looking for the married man to get with, the older man to get with, because the stability is there. And don't let it be a guy that was married with children and then he got a divorce because now he's a made man. That seems to be the cat that everybody chases, right? It makes a lot of sense. It really does. If I could, you know how they do screen share on the phones and stuff like that? If I can do a screen share, which I might can. I could probably set up an NDI. I'll try that tomorrow and see. If I can do a screen share and show you guys my DMs, yeah, you wouldn't believe your mind. When I tell you I can scroll through my DMs forever and ever and ever and ever, it is crazy. And so many guys, they take advantage of that, but it's kind of sickening to me. So, I'll be interested in knowing your thoughts about that, and let me know what you guys believe and think about what we just talked about and read out and these statistics. And do you guys find any of this to be true? It says, however, some say that if you define success as wealth and status, which is what married men have, men over 50, then living alone and focusing on work is the way to go. It says others say that success requires immense focus, dedication, perseverance, and that by being single, you can devote your time and your energy entirely to your goals without the added stress of a woman, without the added responsibilities and nagging. And commitments. All that stuff that comes with a relationship. Let me know what you guys think. Seems true. Whether you decide to be a stable married man and go for the big bucks and take care of your wife and children, or you just a man over 50 that's just living life, living la vida loca. Want to be committed and focused and dedicated and persevere in everything that you do. Devote your time, your energy entirely to your goals, without added responsibilities, headaches, commitments, all that stuff that comes with relationships. You got to get tired of arguing, people. You got to get tired of arguing and always going back and forth and not seeing eye to eye and people wanting you to see things their way, even when they're wrong. Yeah. Come home and it's it seems like that's what it is all the time. Then we have our topic number 2. Topic number 2 is pretty interesting. Men with grays. Check that out. Check that out. That's a good one because seems like men with grays, they get all the action. They just, they're the target. I remember when I started growing all of my gray hairs. My head started turning gray, mustache, beard, these spots here, right there, and I got little patches of grays in certain areas, the real big patches over here in the back. When I started growing my grays, it was driving me crazy. And I was like, man, no way, Jose. And you know, we naturally, first thing we do is we start dyeing our hair and doing all of that stuff. And immediately after you dye your hair, you look in the mirror and you look like 10 years younger. But then everyone would say, well, you know, you look distinguished. That was the word that I heard over and over and over from when I every lady would say distinguished. It almost felt like they were part of the same club and they would share notes. And, oh, your gray hair, it makes you look distinguished. And I used to say to myself, well, what does that mean? You know, you stand out. So you become this target. And so after a while, it actually becomes cool because you initially start cutting your hair, dyeing your hair because you figured dyeing your hair makes you look younger. But then you discover that besides looking distinguished, all you really have to do to take some years off of you is stay clean cut. Keep your hair cut, stay groomed. You know, and I experienced that. I mean, look at a lot of my videos. When my hair is super long and I'm not groomed, I look old. Wow. I sit back and look in the mirror and say, geez, is that really me? Ugh. And then I go and get my hair cut and get myself groomed. And then I'm like, man, my face looks thinner. Yeah. Skin looks better. Look at me. You just start looking so much younger. And so I guess that's what women mean about distinguished. So let's see what we got to say about that, right? And again, I'm interested in knowing your opinions. So it says, do women like men with grays? And it says, yes. Starting in 2020, Match.com, you guys are very familiar with that place. They're one of the biggest dating sites you can possibly find. Well, interesting because Match.com did a study based on all their statistics that they collect from everyone that signs up, whether it be male or female. And, you know, and they have the numbers. People, they got the real numbers, and they know. Especially when they have to do, you know, check out their analytics and really pay attention to analytics so that they know how to market their site. And if you ask me, they've done an incredible job because, look, everyone in the world knows who these people are because of how they use their analytics. Well, they've used those very same analytics to give us the following information. And it says that Match.com found that 72% of women find men with gray hair more attractive than men without. Is that true? You know, it's, I don't know what, 1 o'clock in the morning here in Cali right now, and I'm up doing this. I see one person on right now, quiet but listening. Nevertheless, by tomorrow, this video will circulate and I'll start getting comments and it'll turn into a conversation, which can lead into a whole nother video. But I'm very curious to know what you guys think. Coming from a woman's perspective, that's what I need to know. From a woman's perspective, let the fellas know if there's any truth to this. 72%. Now, I gotta believe it because Match.com has some crazy analytics. They have so many people that sign up of all ages, so their numbers don't lie. And their numbers tells them that 72% of women that find men with gray hair more attractive than men that don't. Then it says that women surveyed said that a well-styled salt and pepper look shows that a man is a strong caretaker. There's that word, distinguished and experienced. So gray hair tells you all of that. And so women are attracted to that. And you know, women, you guys share notes. You guys go back and forth giving each other information all the time. And this is why you all look for the same thing in a man. And it's crazy. It says the style, let me see, a well-styled salt and pepper look shows that a man is a strong caretaker, distinguished, and experienced. Experienced. In what way, right? And then it says, some say that gray hair can make a man look more rugged and mature, which women find attractive. I'm not making this up, people. This is Match.com's analytics. They came up with these analytics by way of women actually joining the site, not only joining, but paying for their service, and then filling out their profiles. And then when they go through their search history, and they track your search history, they find that 72% of all these women are looking for this very thing. An older man with gray hair because he looks extinguished, he's a good caretaker, and he looks experienced. And it says, some say that gray hair can make a man look more rugged and mature, which women find attractive. This says gray hair was once associated with aging. But it's now seen as a sign of sophistication, confidence, and maturity. Some say that men get better with age to a point. Well, I believe it. I find that to be true, 100%. Now, I don't know how I feel about the whole marriage thing. You know, we're starting to live in an age now where marriage is starting to feel obsolete. But yet, you know, for those that, you know, are raised in the church or live in the church, spend all their time in the church, you guys know what the Bible says about people being single, and tells us to be fruitful and multiply and be a man for one woman and a woman for one man, and a man will sanctify the wife will sanctify the husband. But there's also scriptures where Paul says, hey, look, if you can't make marriage work, just be single. But by single, he's not just saying be single. He's saying, you know, stay away from, refrain from any type of sexual moral immoralities, you know, anything that just doesn't please God, basically what I'm saying. But the bottom line is, according to Match.com, women are looking and they find men with gray hairs very attractive, strong. They look like a caretaker, distinguished, and experienced. And over here in the next area, it says that they find it very, well, it used to be a thing that gray hairs make you look old, but now it's makes you look sophisticated, confident, and mature. Yeah, I think that's true. Then it says that Match.com also their study find that 72% of women find a man with gray hair hot. Woo! Sizzling. Welcome to my podcast. Then it says the overwhelming message from women surveyed, a styled salt and pepper look shows you're a strong caretaker and that you're more distinguished and experienced than your peers. Just look at stars like George Clooney and John Slattery. Okay. What is your thought about that, people? Do you find any truth to that? I do. This is topic number 2. You'll see the topic right there. We started with the first one, where is it? Right there. And now we're here. We're going to work our way down to closing. I find that to be true. I find it extremely true. Want to welcome everybody to PMS. No, not the type of PMS that you think. PMS means Pastor Max Show. That's what PMS means. And you'll find it right down there in the corner. Okay? Under the 15. Yeah. Curious again what you guys think about that. Make sure you comment. And also go to that link right there. Subscribe. Our next topic, women and money. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Wake that up.
Man, you can't give a woman some money. Because money to a woman means muscles. Yeah. Boy, they flip on you like an athlete at the Olympics. I am telling you. Give a woman some money and she don't need a man no more. She becomes overnight independent. She's her own person, her own boss. What I need a man for? I'm independent. I do my own thing. And kicks a man to the curb. And if she got a man, he's getting kicked to the curb. Yeah. But the real question about this specific topic is, are you the kind of woman that can date someone that is not as fortunate or is going through some hard times or just don't have it together, but you see potential in them? Can you take, you being the breadwinner and you having a good situation going on, can you take what you got going on and say, you know what, I know I can enhance this guy. I know if I get behind him and I support him, I can turn this guy into what I know he's destined to be. Because, see, sometimes us men may go through something, but all we need is just a little bit of help. You know, well, you can foresee that this man has potential. He's not lazy. And I'm talking about, I'm a man. I'm not talking about somebody that is going to play you. Like you see, okay, you know what? If this guy had it together, this is the one. Because see, women, a lot of times the one shows up in that type of disguise, but guess what? Because because his current circumstances are not good, you pass him by. You just walk past him like he was invisible, and you go to the next guy that looks like he's got it together, only to get played. But see, sometimes you can literally find and see the potential in somebody and literally say, you know what, I think I can work with this one. He's good. He treats me good. He loves my children if you have children. He's respectful. My parents like him. My kids like him. He ain't got nothing. But he's a go-getter. He tries. He never gives up. He tries to make it happen for us. It hurts to see him fail, but you know what? I see his heart, his potential, and it's genuine. Well, you know what? I got it going on. I have a good job. I got good money. I got savings. Let me dress him up. Let me wash him up. Let me get him groomed. Let me get him a car. Let me let him drive that extra car I got. And by that, I'm not saying a Lamborghini or nothing like that. Just something to get around. Let me help him find a job on my day off, or if he's a entrepreneur, if he has an entrepreneur mentality, let's figure out what drives him. What does he like to do so that I can see if I can help him create that and get there, so that one day I don't have to work as hard. Yeah. You got to think that way, people. But we don't. We got the good job, making some money. Got the Louis, the Coach purse. Got the Prada glasses. Got a nice car. All your homegirls, all your friends are single women. You rather just go out and enjoy your life. And run into that guy that is going to play you. That guy that makes you feel like all men are the same. On the other hand, this guy right here, he's everything we describe, and he loves God. He's centered around God. God, Christ, the man, the woman, the child. In that order. He follows order. He doesn't bring confusion to the table. He just needs a little bit of help. And you pass him by because he's broke. Remember back in the day when a man would meet a woman and she was struggling or fresh out of a bad situation. You guys call it situationship. And this new guy will meet her and he'll see potential in her. And he would be, this is the 80s, and what do you like to do? Oh, this, that, or I wouldn't. And he would put you through nursing school. He would pay for it. You graduate, and next you become a nurse. Now you're working at a hospital. And now the life that he was able to provide, you came together and elevated that to the next level. He lost his job, you was able to hold him down. You lost your job, he was able to hold you down. You got another job, he got another job. You guys worked it out, made it happen. Took it to another level. Ended up buying property together. Your kids had kids, now you had grandkids. You watch your grandkids grow up, you watch your grandkids have children. Remember them days? 30 years later, you're still with the same woman. You own a home or two. Kids go through some hard times, or your grandkids go through some hard times, or even your great-grandkids go through some hard times. Hey, Papa. Hey, Nana. And they can always come home. Regroup, get it together, grow them wings, and get back out there. What happened in those days? That's when people would help each other, right? That's when people saw the potential in each other and they said, hey, you know what? I got it right now. I can hold this person down because I believe in this person. And this person found a way. I mean, they appreciated you. So they didn't take advantage of you. And, you know, you use your discernment. You good judging character. You wasn't rushing into stuff. Seems like nowadays you'll be in a relationship for 4 years and never even hold hands. In a relationship for 4 years and never visited each other's homes. What kind of relationship is that? I don't know. I'll leave that one alone. But that's a very common thing nowadays. And if you ask me, if that seems to be the case, somebody's messing around. Knock it off. I'm 52, going on 53. Been there, done that. I've been around the world at 9. We know how that works. And they expect you to believe it too. And you get to a point where you're like, you know what? You start not caring. And that's the dangerous part, because once you get to the point where you don't care no more, because you're trying to be cool with her or him, and you're trying to push to make this work, and they're not pushing, or they're not, yeah, they're cool with you, and yeah, they're showing some interest, but they don't care enough to really pursue it. See you when I see you kind of thing. Phone is cool. Texting is perfect. You eventually, as men, I'm speaking for men, ladies. Eventually, men get to a point where we're like, okay, you know what, whatever. I'm not talking about men in and out of the church. I'm just keeping it real. I mean, a lot of these preachers can get on here and tell you what you want to hear. Let's just be real. This is not a church show. This is a podcast. We're talking real stuff out here. Okay? Most men get to the point where they feel like, you know what, all right, okay, I'm going to go through the motions with her. And unfortunately, eventually you give in, and eventually you end up falling for this person, but you end up falling for him when he doesn't care anymore. And now you're doing all of these things that we talked about and putting time into him and investing, and now he's using you. He doesn't care anymore because you took him to that place. He came, genuinely cared, wanted to get to know you, wanted to be with you, be in your life, cared about your children. You played them. And eventually, he just went with the flow. He went with the flow. He had nothing to lose. And eventually, boom, he played you because he just went for the ride because he ain't had nothing to lose. You're over there, he's over here. He's not losing nothing. And then eventually you start falling for him. Why? Because you're getting older. You're hitting your mid-40s or your 50s. You're realizing that the men that once wanted you don't want you anymore. That happens, ladies. It really does. And the truth is, nobody wants to be alone. And you was on your independent tip. It was all about you and yours. And now he don't care. He doesn't care. That thing he felt once upon a time for you is gone. He doesn't care. He's now at a point where he's like, whatever, I'm going through the motions, and then once I get you, bye. Then you're going to sit back and be like, oh man, you're going to start boo-hooing.
Come on now, air it out.
He won't care. Because men age gracefully. And the truth of the men, by age gracefully, I ain't talking about wrinkles and this. I'm talking about the older they get, the more established they get, better jobs they get, more money they start saving, because they don't really have to spend it on too much and nothing. Now, most women are now attracted. 72% of women on Match.com is looking for this type of man. These are statistics, people, from Match.com. These are their statistics that they use for marketing, and you know they market well. They're Match. Everyone knows about them. That's how well they market. And they go back and they look at these statistics, and they look at what people are looking for and who they're clicking on and who they're writing to and responding to, and who are they ignoring versus who are they attracted to. And everything in their statistics says that women like you are attracted to men like me. By me, I'm saying the gray hair, 50 and over, established, got it together. And because you can't seem to settle, and I don't mean settling, I mean settle down. You don't want to slow down because everywhere you go, somebody's grabbing your hand while you're walking by or trying to holler at you. That it wears out, it goes away, it dissipates, it's gone. And now you want to settle down, and now the man you want to settle down with don't care for you no more. He don't like you no more. He got it together now. Or he's got his eye on a young chick. They got her eye on the guy with the money, the established guy, the distinguished guy. Now he don't want you. He don't care for you. You're old. That's how it works. I'm not making this up, people. These are real statistics. Numbers don't lie. You're letting your life pass you by instead of growing old with somebody. It's already too late to be fruitful and multiply with you. So that already is out the window. A man got to come and father someone else's child. That in itself can become a problem eventually, depending on what kind of guy you're dealing with. Especially if the father's in the life of the child, because now he got to deal with the father. And so a lot of times you guys allow the right Mr. Guy, Mr. Perfect, to pass you by. Yeah. Pass you straight by. Isn't that crazy? You wake up when he's no longer interested. You working, you're independent. You working, you don't have time for a relationship. You don't have time for that man that wants to get to know you and love you. People don't even know what love is anymore. That word is, I don't even know. It's gone. Now it's just hookups, matchups, and hookups, and get together and hang out and have some drinks and go out to eat a couple times and to hook up and bam. It's over. See, there's something such making someone wait too long to want to get involved. And by involved, I mean saying, hey, we're an item. Let's make this work. Let's build. Let's create something and build on it. People ain't trying to do that at 60, man. Wake up. Y'all women, y'all want to settle down when y'all hit 66. They don't nobody want you at 65 years old. You don't live half 100 years. Ain't nobody want that. You don't look the same you used to look. Most of y'all don't even, people I know, don't even look the same they looked when I met them 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. Really think about it. It comes back to haunt you. It really does. It comes back to haunt you. I got a couple questions for you guys. This is more like a game, and I want to see what you guys think. So I'm going to put up a question, and I'd like for you guys to type in the comments and let me know what you think. Or better yet, let me rephrase that. I'm going to put the question up, and let me know in the comments what your answer is. I really want to know where your mind is at. And I'm going to know that based on how you answer these questions, right? So the first question, are men and women similar? Are men and women similar? Are we the same? Are we? Put that in the comments. Tell me what you think. Do you agree that we are similar? Are we not? Are men and women similar? Are we similar in some ways? In some ways we're not. Are we just completely... I mean, I remember back in the day, they used to say men are from Venus and women are from Mars. That's how different we are. Are men and women similar? Is there any similarities that you know that men and women have? The reason this question is very important is because when you can find the similarities amongst each other, in each other, then you can find that you'll find that you're equally yoked. You'll find that there's more similarities than none, because I can talk to you and we have nothing in common. But I can talk to another person and there's so many similarities. It almost like it gives it away. This is the one. You know, you look forward to talking to each other. There's no confrontation. It's always fun. And you still gonna pass on that? Help me understand that. Again, you gonna wait till you 55, 60? Don't nobody want you at that age. Not an old man, not a young one. And if you cool, living your life alone, then hey, then that proves my point. Yeah. Pastor Max, well, you know, you pastor, why you say no? These are facts, man. This is the straight facts. I didn't make this up. And I don't play the game. I mean, this is what goes on every day. You do it, they do it, we all do it. We live around it, we deal with, we know people to do it. This is the real. This is really what's going on. Hey, look, you can sit here and pretend to be Mother Teresa all you want. We all know the real. Stop it. Or we can be adults and have an adult conversation like we're having right now and learn from it. And try to avoid being in a situation where you're 60, 65 years old, finally saying, I'm ready to settle down and don't nobody. Girl, you almost 70. First of all, most people don't even make it to 70 anymore. Not in these days. So what I'm gonna marry you at 65 for, and I know you're gonna die in 2-3 years from now, or I'm gonna die. Well, it's a waste of my time. Let's keep it 100. You guys got to think this way. This is the real. People don't live to 80 and 90 and 99 anymore like they used to back in the day, like our grandparents did, like Medea did, and Paul back in the... No. People leaving this earth at 40, 45 years old, 46 years old, gone. Lucky if they make it in their 50s. And if they made it to their 50s, they may not meet 60, 65 years old. Keep it 100, not the way things are nowadays. This is a harsh fact. This is a harsh truth. This is some real stuff. You got to think like this. And the sad thing is that we don't. We act like it, you know, just everything's just gonna work our way forever, and you know, at 65, I'm gonna find somebody 24 and be happy. A man can do that because women are attracted to older men because of the stability. the maturity, the comfort, the security. But men ain't attracted to a woman his age. Again, it's just a harsh truth. I don't care how beautiful you are. Period. So the question again is, are men and women similar? Well, hopefully you had time to answer it. This is your answer. According to meta-analysis of published research, this is another viable, reliable source. Men and women are similar in key attributes such as, this is where they found men and women to be the same. They're both confident. They're risk-taking and negotiating skills. But see, when I read this, what I'm finding, what I see, what I hear is basically men and women are similar when it's an independent woman because she acts like a man. I get the confidence. I mean, I'm not knocking that. But I'm talking more of the risk taker. Women aren't risk takers. Women are very, very careful when it comes to risk taking because if they have children, they're like they can't afford to lose. If they don't have children but they own property and stuff like that, they can't afford to lose. So they minimize the risk that they take. Where men are gamblers, we just sit back and say we're gonna lay it all out and see what happens. That's how men think. So the only woman that I believe that would match these qualifications are women that have a real masculine side to them, in which case no man wants. Because we don't want to be with a woman that's masculine. We want submissiveness, beauty, femininity, and respect. These are things we look for. We don't want to match your energy. We don't argue with you and want to argue with you over stuff that men know too well. It's like us arguing with you over stuff that women know too well. I'm going to argue with you on how to make the best tuna sandwich, a bowl of gumbo. You would look at me like I'm crazy. This dude arguing with me over how to make gumbo? The same difference. We don't want to argue with a woman about stuff that we as men know too well because it's a masculine thing that you're trying to coach me on. No. Question number 2. Are women underrepresented? Are women underrepresented? Curious what you think about this stuff. I mean, I see some of you guys are on here, you're not commenting, which is fine. But I'm really curious. Even if you're a man, give me your thoughts. Give me what you think. I mean, based on what you've been through with women. What you believe based on what you've been through, what you experienced with women. Are you tired? Does it make you feel like, I'd rather be alone? Because some people can come in your life and just make you feel like, you know what, forget all of this. Man, forget a relationship, like hands down, as they say. If it's going to be like this, I don't want it. It's got to be like, remember the song back? If I can't have you, I don't want nobody, baby. Remember that? That's how it should be. But it's more like, if I got to have you, I don't want nobody, baby. Yeah. It's like the complete opposite. This is what people do to each other nowadays. They make each other feel this way. And that's sad. Very sad. So the question was, are women underrepresented? And the answer, women are underrepresented in decision making, in the decision making process that affects their lives and societies. They also have fewer economic rights than men, including lower pay, poor working conditions, and limited access to land and property. Well, I think that in itself, to me, I mean, I think that's yeah, I mean, there are some rights that women have that the men have that women don't. But I think it should be like that. I really do. I don't think a woman should. I don't know. I don't want to put. You know what? I don't want to fight y'all. I don't want to fight y'all. Because I could say a woman shouldn't have the right to vote unless she joins the military. Yeah. I mean, we have no choice. Like, see, here's for example, here's a law that applies to men that don't apply to you, women. And this is why I make that comment. If World War III broke out right now, I would get recruited. And I have to go. You won't. But you have the same right I have. You won't even have to go to be a nurse. But I have to go to combat. You won't even have to go to do the simple things for the military, like data entry at a war, which is necessary. But I got to go to combat. But you have the right to vote. So I feel as though if you join the military, and I don't mean in combat women, by all means, I don't mean that. I mean the nursing, the cooking, data entry. I mean stuff that women do. Stuff that women do so well. And some of you women are like, well, that's because you have a man's mentality. You're a masculine woman. That's why you're like, because these are feminine women traits that a lot of you women run away from because you're masculine, in which case you're probably single. In fact, I'm going to say that you are, because no man wants a masculine woman. Ugh. Keep it 100. I mean, just being real with you. And you want proof? You're single. What more proof you want than that? You want more proof? You're single because you keep getting into it with every guy that you talk to because you keep trying to tell him how to be a man. And 9 times out of 10, you hear these words from every man that you date. Stop trying to be a man. Be a woman. Or something along that line. If you tell the truth. Yeah. And that's why I feel the way I feel. Question number 3. Do men and women think different? Do men and women think different? At least we should, right? I think we should think different. But do we? People, if you really pay attention to this, it'll help you out. I'm telling you. If you're in a relationship, it'll change your relationship for the better. If you're not in one, it'll help you get into one because it'll It'll teach you how to reflect correctly and make changes and adjustments. Because we all got to make adjustments, especially when we're trying to merge into someone else's life. When we're trying to be an item, when you're trying to be with someone, you got to make adjustments. You can't just go in there saying, this is who I am and this is what it is, this is what you're getting, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, bye. Right there, you started off wrong. You know, and a lot of things I do so well for myself may not appeal to you, may turn you off. And vice versa. So when you're talking about building a relationship, you have to put yourself in a place where you have to make adjustments. And you might just have to let go of some things that you love so much. Some things that have been you. And it's hard because I'm 52. You know how hard it is to change what I've been doing for 52 years of my life? To make someone else happy? But if you're trying to make someone else happy and in the process make yourself happy, you gotta make adjustments, or it's not gonna work. It's not gonna last. You don't want to be in a situation where you're literally fighting every day with the person that you should be helping or should be helping you. That's not living. Yeah. Before I move forward, do me a favor and log into that link right there and subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'd really appreciate you. And if you guys share this and like the show, let some of your friends know to watch the show, and we'll start putting it on a regular schedule at a decent time. That way everybody can log in and tell them about the show. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah. So question number 3. The question was, do men and women think alike? Do we think alike? Give me your opinion. Tell me what you think. Do we think alike in some aspects? Do we think a lot? Do we don't? I mean, tell me what you think. It's different for everybody. Why you think that? Thinking alike, does it make you clash? Does it make it work? Well, here's my answer. Men tend to use the left hemisphere of their brain for logical thinking. Logical. Keyword is logical thinking. While women use both hemispheres for more complex processing. So we use it for thinking, y'all use it for processing. It's different. Men and women also process emotions differently. See, your use of the brain is more emotional. Your brain is what triggers your emotion, your attitudes, your moods, your desires, your wants, your diswants. You use your brain that way because you're an emotional creature. That's what you do by nature. Where we use our thinking a little different, ladies. We think more protect, provide. You know, but we only want to protect and provide for the women that is sexy, feminine, submissive, beautiful. Because we're immediately attracted to your physical while you're attracted to our mental. You're attracted to how we think. You process what we think. That's the first thing you look at when you see a man. You're looking at how we think. While we're looking at your physical, we're looking at your physique, your figure. Because we think different. If we can get past that, then we'll move on to the way you think. We don't want to waste our time trying to figure out how you think and how you process stuff, and we're not going to be with you if we're not attracted to you physically. Oh, for what? And maybe I'm getting in trouble for saying this, but I'm going to just keep it 100. Some of y'all need to get it together physically. I'm 5'5". I'm probably 175 pounds. I should be 146 if I want to get the weight right for my height. Anything above that is pushing obesity. So technically, I'm obese, even though I don't look real big. I'm too heavy for my size. Some of you women are 5'5", and you're like 195 pounds. You weigh more than a running back. And I'm not being funny or facetious or evil. I'm just keeping it 100. Some real stuff. And the only type of man that would want something like that is somebody desperate. Because you're not going to be in a happy relationship, because every chance he get, he's going to look at the woman that's 5'5" and 140, 142. You're going to constantly be staring at him with a pretty woman, because women know pretty women. Y'all know a pretty woman when you see one. And as soon as you see a pretty woman, first thing you do is look at him, see if he's looking. And even if he don't look and he looking this way because he already know what you're going to say, you turn it into a problem. Yeah, you know you want to watch. You don't play like you ain't looking. Just go on and look. You want to look. And there it is. Because y'all process things differently. Y'all look for security, comfort, protection. We look for beauty, submissiveness, beauty. And then we meet each other somewhere down the middle. We eventually merge into the things that you initially looked at from us, and y'all eventually merge into, am I attracted to him physically? Which is crazy to me, because most women cheat more than men. Which means that right off the top, you're already attracted to somebody physically. These are statistics. These are proven statistics. You can look it up. Women cheat more than men. Woman's body counts are way bigger than the man's body count. So us men knowing that, and we're living in an age where men are hearing this more and more and more, and that's what's causing men now to look at you and be like, girl, get out of my face. So us knowing that most women have high body counts, that in itself, along with your age, along with you being masculine, along with all of that, plays against you. And it makes men not care. I don't care how pretty you are, your eyes, your this, your that. I don't care. Please, get out of here. I dealt with beautiful women my whole life. Have you seen all my kids? They're not from the same woman. All my kids are beautiful. What that tell you? You got to think like this, people. You must think like this, because this is the truth. Number 4. Are men better at reading maps? Are men better at reading maps? And by maps, we basically mean direction. Are we better at a sense of direction than women are? There's a lot of things women do better than men, that men think they do better. But no, women do certain things better than men. But there are a lot of things that you can't compare. Men just, they got you. They do better than women, hands down. And women think they doing better than men. You don't. So is sense of direction one of those things? Are men better at processing sense of direction, or are women better at processing sense of direction? Because Why is this important? Because a woman, you act like you want to control everything, but a woman really wants a man she can follow. Right? On the other hand, a man doesn't want a woman that doesn't follow him. A man does not want a woman that wants to lead. We don't care for that. That's why we don't care how much money you make, what you do, and you get to talking money with us, and we're like, it's really a turn off for us. Because, okay, man. Especially if you're a man that makes money or have made a lot of money, or you're well off, or it's not hard for you to make money. Your earning is one of the easiest things for you. There's men that money just falls on their lap, especially if you 50 and over and established and extinguished. You save. You're a protector. You're a provider. You got a good job. You earn. You're probably in that 2 to 5% of men in the world that just got it like that. We're not caring about your finances. For what? The man that ain't got nothing, he's impressed by it. But the man that, no. So, are men better at reading maps? Are we better at sense of direction? Well, let's find out. Men use the hippocampus, the part of the brain that helps with sense of direction, more than women. You hear this? It's part of what we do very well. Why? Because we're protectors by nature. You have to protect the kids, but we have to protect you and the kids. You see how that works? If a guy is walking down the street and somebody tries to assault you and him, he's going to stand, and his natural instinct is to protect you. And when it's all said and done, what you're not going to hear is, man, you let me fight by myself. You didn't help me. You're not going to hear that from a man. But if somebody assaulted us and you jumped to fight and I didn't, you would look at me and say, man, you didn't even help. You didn't stand up like a man. See what I'm saying? That's the sense of direction. This is why we look for women that follow us. But to the other side of that, man, in order for a woman to follow you, she gotta respect you. Because if she doesn't respect you, then what is it? Right? You're wasting your time. Now, last question is, can life experiences cause biological differences? Can life experiences really cause biological differences in a relationship between man and women? And I ain't talking man to man and woman to woman, because, this world is so warped nowadays. All that stuff happens. But I'm talking about man and women order. Can life experiences change biological differences? Can what you go through in life versus what I go through in life change our biological differences? Make us like completely opposite, or make us the same? If we were opposite, make us the same. What you go through drive you closer to me, vice versa. And I say to me because, again, we just spoke about leading. Man leads, woman follows. Can whatever we go through bring us closer, or make us different? Well, Let's find out. Forming male typical behaviors can increase women's testosterone levels. Performing male typical behaviors. Things that men do can increase a woman's testosterone level. But watch this. Here's the crazy thing. While performing female typical behaviors can reduce men's testosterone levels. Again, because women like to see the masculine, the protection, the provider in a man, the security from a man. And that the way a man performs will just like, it'll turn you on. But the opposite, if the woman's real masculine, the woman's doing all this performing like it turns the man off. Again, we said it before, we like femininity, we like submissiveness, we like beauty, gentleness. We want a woman to be a woman, bottom line. Period. We don't care for a woman to act like a man. I don't want to be with no man. Not if you're a man, a real one. And that's just how that works. So, everybody. By the way, this is the sound of Louis Mosley. You'll find him in my friends list. If you go through my friends, you'll find Louis Mosley. You'll see him with a guitar, and he's got his music up there. He wrote this and performed it, recorded it. Was so kind to give it to us for the show. We appreciate him dearly. I recommend, and do me a favor, anywhere where music is sold, you can find Louis Mosley. This particular song is called In My Own Words. Show Louis some support. Yeah. And comment on his iTunes and all that. Let him know that you heard it here. Pastor Max Show. We do appreciate, this is episode 15 on the PMS Pastor Max Show. We want to thank you again. Do me a favor. Go to that link right up there. Subscribe. Share it. Comment. Hit the like button. That helps the algorithm. We'll try to come back on Facebook soon. But you want to go there because that's where we do our show. Very rarely am I doing a show here these days, so you guys don't want to miss it. When you guys subscribe up there, then when we go live, you'll be notified. You won't miss it. And do me a favor, share this video. Show this video with some of your friends. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us on this podcast. Before I leave, I want to leave you guys with a couple pieces of advice that I believe if you follow, it will really help you out. Help you out big time. Know your worth. It's so important for you to know your worth, men and women both. So many people are walking around with so much low self-esteem that you don't understand your worth, you don't know your worth, you allowing other people to dictate what you're worth. That dictates your behavior with them. In other words, they manipulate you because you don't know your worth. And that's very important for you to understand. Know your worth. Don't settle for less than you deserve. And take the time to figure out what you want in a partner. But understand this, if you find a partner that meets those qualifications and things that you want, don't waste your time. Don't wait till you're 65 because he won't want you. You got to pursue it. You got to make it happen. Tomorrow's not promised. Second bit of advice I have for you is communicate. Express your expectations and boundaries. You got to let people know what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. You can do that. Because all that's going to do is cause people to respect you. But when you don't do that, then in essence, what you're really doing is you're allowing other people to create the boundaries that you're going to operate in. And that's not cool. So know your exceptions. Know what you're not willing. You know what? I may do that, but I won't do this. I ain't making no exceptions when it comes to my integrity. Period. And that takes a lot of communication, people. Communication. Take things slow. Don't rush into a relationship and give the connection time to grow naturally. Now, this one, you guys really got to dissect what I just said. Don't rush, but don't take forever either, people. Because like I said earlier, what that's going to do is it's going to make men lose interest in you, and then he's not going to want you no more. And most men out there aren't God-fearing, so they're just going to hang around to, you know what I mean? And then kick you to the curb. And it'll just be another bad experience you have with the opposite gender that will put you in a place where you no longer trust, where you no longer want or respect the opposite gender. So yeah, take your time. Take things slow. Don't rush. Give the connection time to grow naturally, but naturally, I said give it time to grow naturally. Naturally can mean that it moves in a faster pace. Naturally can mean it takes longer. But don't try to dictate everything either. Don't make it your way or the highway. Because all you're going to do is lose. So many of us have been in situations where we lost the best thing that ever happened to us because we took too long to accept it and welcome it, and then we lost it and someone else gained it. We look back at them and they're happy with what once was yours and what was supposed to be yours forever. Yeah. Respect each other. Respect your partner's views and opinions. Give them reason to respect you too. Yes. Respect their views and opinions while giving them reason to respect you. Yeah. Work equally. Both partners need to work equally to make the relationship work. And by work equally, I'm not talking about employment. I'm talking about what you put into a relationship. He's really into you, or she's really into him. If you're not going to match the energy, then one of you guys is wasting your time. Bottom line. You ever been in a situation where you really cared for somebody and really wanted to give it your all, but they don't match your energy? They call you when they want to call you. They don't call you. They go weeks without calling you, and they can go weeks without calling you and not miss talking to you. It's don't matter to them. They're playing with you. So give them enough time to figure it out, and hopefully they figure it out in time. But if it doesn't look like it's moving anywhere or going anywhere, or they're not really trying to match your energy, then they're not for you. They're for somebody else. Just let go. Just let go. Move forward. Sometimes it may hurt a little bit. Sometimes it may put you in a position where you're hurting because you're like, man, I invested so much time into this. But you know what? Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you gotta let go and move forward. Yeah. Take advantage of your years that you have left on this earth. And find that person you can be happy with, enjoy. If they don't make you happy, then move forward. And if you can't make them happy, don't be selfish. Let them go. Let them find happiness. You'll thank me later for that. Find common interests. Do activities together that you both have a passion for to strengthen your bond. Yep. But if you're dealing with somebody that's constantly always doing something and they never invite you, they never call you to come along, they're not making any efforts to introduce you to their side of the world, but you offered it for them and they don't want to come out to your world, but they don't want to come out to your world, but they don't want to invite you to theirs. It's nothing there. It's nothing there. And you got to start realizing that and start getting to a point where you don't waste your time. It could be a very hard thing, especially when you've been dealing with somebody for a long time. They're not for you. They don't want you. They just like your conversation because ain't nobody giving them the attention that they wish they had. And there's somebody there that deals with them on a certain level. And after that person deals with them on a certain level, that person kicks them to the curb. So they get that from them, but they try to get the emotional love from you. Let go. I know people like that. We're older. We know the difference. And if you do find that person, build a routine. Build some loving routines together. Build memories together. Build things that you'll never forget. You both will never forget. You'll be able to grow, and you'll be able to grow together. I'm your friend, Pastor Max. Thank you. I appreciate you coming on here, sharing with me, and spending this time here. Be sure to like, share, subscribe here, and also go up there, subscribe there, like, share, follow, hit the bell. I do appreciate you. That's normally where I do my show, so that's where I'm at most of the time. If you don't subscribe there, you'll miss it unless I come here, and I rarely over here anymore, so be sure to follow there. All right? Love you with the love of the Lord. Ha! It's your friend, Pastor Max, and I'm out.